'cause a busted line hurts worse than anything hook shots.
Okay team, so we're going to take you to Bear Island. I'll tell you the bare facts about Bear Island and the fishing. Again, it's 7 o'clock in the morning and parking is pretty good. So other than the other wharf structure, the other structure that people fish a lot on is this bridge to Bear Island. Now, predominantly around this area is a lot of scuba diving, skin diving, spearfishing away from the area. So the chances of catches are limited in the sense that off this wharf, but you might snag something. Really good for families if you want to take the kids to give it a go. Just have to be careful that the young ones don't jump into the water and you get all paranoid all the time, and you're actually worried about your kids falling in rather than fishing and concentrating on the wharf. It's amazing that the new ferry structure at Lapa has not even got a fishing regulation sign up on it. And you think both these structures through here, although we've got one for years that has been put up on the rocks through there, you think the new bridge, or the new wharf, sorry, would have a fisheries regulation signs up, because there is a lot of illegal sizes being kept, and it's not for me to police, it's not my role, but it is disturbing that, you know, when you do see that, and you can actually magnify that by 500% probably, because the lack of policing and education of the different types of fish being caught by the fishermen in the area is not being enforced. Now we look at Bear Island and it comes across as a nice sedate little place, which it is, but it comes with the inherent risks of being washed in if you're not wearing the proper safety equipment. Now, I'm not judging people if they do or don't wear it. I was the era that we never wore it, but now I do wear it. Okay, it's in Randwick municipality, so you can be fined if you don't wear it. So that with a parking infringement and or a fine for not wearing your equipment as said on the signs through here. Again, wearing a life jacket when rock fishing, unexpected waves. They're giving you all the warning, team, to come down. We'll go down the steps, which is pretty good access to it all. Make sure you take all your crap home with you. I know I'm a local here and I see everyone comes through here and just leaves everything, but there's your sign. And we'll go down and have a look at what we can look at this structure on Bear Island. So as you see, it's very easy access, but don't let it fool you, because within these areas you have to fish close. And when I say close is that you have to get close to the water, and getting close to the water gives a few issues, because you're in that zone where, like many, take risks and get washed in. So predominantly around here you'll catch your red mohong, your little sweep, your brim, your tarwine, all the way through there, and you might hook something. Again, this gets hammered all the way through here. The baits I'd be using is probably your pilchards or squid again, but I like fishing a small ball sinker, a ball straight to the hook, a 2-0 or something like that. Be it your choice, with a half hitch on the tail. So we go through here and we look at this area through here, pretty sturdy. This one here gets the swell, so you're going to be aware of the swell when you come and look at where you're going to fish. It does surge up, and a lot of people fish this area through here. Easy access, an easy cast, and so you can come right down. It does get slippery again, so it's a good form of sand shoes, or those cleats. Again, this is like ice, so you're stepping on through here. These barnacles through here they're a cracker. And many a scar on the legs from those, not from stupidity being washed in, but just brushing up against them. They're actually a cracker. Really hurt. And the shell stays underneath the skin for months, it seems. So we're walking along this area through here. This gentleman here is using a float with a pilchard, which is a good idea because the amount of snags you get through here, it sort of puts a downer on what you're fishing about, because you're losing half the stuff. If I was a skin diver or a scuba diver, I'll tell you what, the amount of lead from this area through here would be phenomenal. So again, you get your cast out, and he's casting, so get it out 15-20 meters out, which is I like that, because remember the reverse of things. Boat fishermen, they cast towards the rocks. Rock fishermen cast away from the rocks. Let's have a happy medium, because someone knows something. Again, so you're looking at here all the way, and again, this is getting really slippery now, and you can see here the slip, and that's why you can understand if you step on that, it's like ice. With like any of these areas and these rock fishing areas, if you come prepared, fantastic. A lot of people use prawns, which is a-okay, but I seem to like the more robust baits. The squid, the pilchard's sometimes not robust in a sense, but it stays on the hook because you get a lot of pickers, and you don't want to keep on retrieving your line in your hook or sinker all the time, because that amplifies the rate that you'll be snagged. So the strategy when you go rock fishing is that you do half the effort of getting the bait out there, you do half the effort of casting it, and when you get a little tick, you wind it in. And then consequently, when you wind it in, you probably still got your bait back, or you get a snag. So why not leave it out there for something to actually take? Now, I use the philosophy of the $10 note. A $10 note's dropped on the floor at a theatre. All the kids are coming around going, oh, look at that, there's $10, shall we pick it up, pick it up? Then the big 38-year-old bloke comes and says, I'll take that, that's mine. Same thing with fishing, in my belief. The little pickers send a signal out, there's something going on around here, and then the bigger fish go, oh, we've picked up on that, let's suss it out, and let's come on and give it a go. So now I'm working around to the face of Bear Island, and this is where it starts to get a bit tricky and hairy, because a lot of people, they just come down here and they plonk themselves on the face, which is fine, but what's underlying through here is a reef or a bombora. So you'll see that marker out through there. The waves, the swell would hit that and be deflected, and the deflection actually comes this way. So if you've got, say, a 2-foot, 3-foot swell deflection, and it comes this way, comes over a shallow rock system, it surges over the rock system, and then you're fishing down in this area down through here, and remember, I'm close, because that's where they are. That's what happens. People come down this close and they don't get it. All of a sudden the wave comes up, and presto. So I don't know at the moment, so where I'm standing, the bigger the wave, you can get chucked in and surged back out into the water. So when you get surged back in the water, you're actually being pulled up and across, up and across, up and across. At the moment, I can see a lot of blackfish feeding on the shelf, on the weed, on the high tide. Yeah, they're coming up and actually eating. So if I was a black fisherman at the moment, that's a great sign for me to be fishing this area through here with some local weed, because they're actually really thick here at the moment. Really thick. Wow. Okay, so, and a lot of people don't go for blackfish because it's a sport within itself, and you have to really know how and where and the depth and the weights and the floating systems you use for the area. So we'll keep on going around to the face, Okay, so we've got a that's a good size bream there at the moment the guy's caught, which is good to see. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a thumping size. It's well done, and he's fishing the area well. We'll head over through here now to the more face of it, and we'll show you again as we go around. As you're more frontal exposed to the waves and the actions, it also exposes to the more fish because they like this type of water. Crabs have been smashed off the rocks, kungies being taken off, small shells have been taken off, all the way through there. You can use a burley mixture if you want to entice the fish, which is purely your choice. Using a float with fishing a 3 to 4 foot just on this shallow area, they're not too bad. In the lower tides, you can actually get around to this area down through here, which is good. You can actually get down through here and walk right across. I wouldn't recommend that to anyone. This is where you take risks, that's what happens. But a good little area, and that guide is that pole, between that pole and this where this gentleman's fishing, is the fish light with a float. And look at that through here at the moment. Okay. Got a bit of burley going, which is a really intelligent thing to do if you want to entice the fish. So again, when you come to this area, you've got to be careful of that bombora on a high tide or eddy tide coming up and surging and smashing with the rocks. The rocks are that slippery through here, and you can see the rocks and all the slip through here. Very, very dangerous, and it wants to entice you to actually get down on that lower and give it a go. But he said, look at this, really good at the moment. Of all the blink of an eye, bang, you're in the water, and hasta la vista, West Cap helicopter. So let's do a roundup. Safety gear, number one, paramount. A visual inspection of where you're going and how the rock platform is performing with the waves. 2, your bait, which would be, in my opinion, small bottle squid, pilchards. I'd keep away from the prawns at this stage. A rig, which is a small ball sinker to a 2 beak or 3 beak brim hook, direct to cast out 15 to 20 metres out. The amount of snags you may get, well, you'll end up tying a whole lot of stuff. I'd leave it out there until you think you're baited or you're hooked up. I wouldn't constantly want to check the bait again, because that'll stop you actually being snagged and ruining the day. Looking at where the others are fishing, and remember, being respectful of where they're fishing and just don't crashing their party. Especially all these places through here, the space is so premium and the fishing etiquette sort of goes out the window. There is a form of fishing etiquette that, you know, you don't invade one's personal space. If the guy's been here for that long, give him that space to go. Now we've got a boat that's coming in through here, and this is where some of the boats get stuffed up with a bigger swell, obviously because of the bomboras and the wave breaks. If that guy comes across a little bit further and in, obviously some stuff will happen. So in summary, not a bad area. Be safe, be good. 15-pound line, 9 to 15-pound line. Have a good attitude, and that's the bare facts of Bear Island.
Mono feeling, man. Be the goal. Down on the shoreline at the break of dawn, rig laid out and my game face on. Is that the right sinker? Heavy or light? Will it hit the bottom or drift out of sight? I'm checking every knot, pulling tight till it sings, 'cause a busted line hurts worse than anything. Hook sharp, shining like a razor blade, but I'm wondering, should I switch from mono to braid? Current's pushing hard, the wind's starting to blow. Good old monofilament be the go. Is the breaking straight enough? Will the swivel hold tough when the big one hits? When it starts to run, you better hope your rig don't come undone. show. You better hope your rig don't let it go. Yeah, the watch length, trace tight, let the rhythm flow. Good old monofilament be the go. Be the go. Strain enough, will the swivel hold tough when the beast dives deep, when it steals the show? You better hope